Hey, what's up, guys? Carry on back with the video, and today I'm going to do my review of Bleach 1000 Year Blood War, English dub, episode 10. So, here we goes there. So, episode starts out with, we'll see where they're technically fighting there. Where technically left off, the head Soul Reaper captain there versus, Indro. I think that I got his name right. So they were like technically dueling blades there and stuff. They were saying, she was actually saying what he actually said in the last episode there. She's like, I never had nobody fearing you there, and mostly you're technically, mostly my fear is mostly you and stuff like that. So she was mostly attacking him with the Zonpak toe there, and mostly she was mostly attacking him and stuff like that for it. They're mostly technically drawing blades there, left and right there. And then she does her Bonkai there. Her Bonkai was technically like, looked like a blood sword type of thing there. That's what her Bonkai actually looks like. It technically looks like a blood sword type of thing there. And she technically was using it there and stuff. And then he was saying something about where he actually totally blacked out there. Mostly his black outages made him much better and more stronger there and stuff. And he said, well, you have no other choice there, but actually going against me and stuff like that. That's what she was saying to him. And then to Hendry or so. And mostly they were technically dueling blades there. And mostly she technically stabs her in the end. She's like, well, I technically lost this battle there, but you technically won the war against me and stuff like that. And she was saying stuff about that. She's like, and then he mostly stabs her, and he's like, do not die there. He didn't want her to die and stuff like that. he's like, you're the only rival I actually had and stuff. And she was actually saying, now you got your wish there. You finally defeat me. Now you're going to think other fights are going to be boring there, like you had before there. And that's what he was at. She was saying to him and stuff. And then we hear like this anonymous thing come out of nowhere. And he's like, who is that? And so that's what he was saying. He's like, you don't remember me, Kenji, there? And then that's what she was actually saying. And then he was like, wait, who is this and stuff. So when that was going on with that stuff there, when he was technically fighting her, we go to the next scene there, where Ichigo and Renji there get pushed into the void there. Mostly they get pushed into the void there, or not pushing the void. Mostly they're walking in. They mostly kind of look like a what kind of looks like a strip club type of thing there. Or not, but mostly they walk into like this consume there, and they have all these ladies and stuff like that. They're like, oh, and the bear's like, oh, he's like, awesome, this is cool and stuff like that. And then most of the guy was actually he walks in, he's like, oh yeah, the guy who honestly makes his own toes there. He's like, actually was saying to him, saying like, well, you have to. He's like, you have to bow down to me. And they're like, wait, why we have to bow down to you and stuff? He's like, well, generally we need to know who's actually the strongest, like Zonpak To there and stuff like that. And mostly and then they're like, no. He's like, they're like, oh, please work with us. He's like, no. You have to do it like this. You have to beg. There. So they actually did their head begging there. And they're like, oh, please and stuff like that. And then they're like, and then he's like, oh, look at these idiots there. And then they're like, oh, you bastard. And stuff like that. They're like, you bastard and stuff. So technically, they take him off there to the rooms there. And technically when they take him off to the rooms there and stuff like that, we see them actually getting pushed inside the they take him to the rooms there, and mostly they push Ichigo and Renji into the mist there. He was actually saying something about like a Zanpakuto there, and he was saying something about, he's like, you don't really trust your Zonpak toes that much there, and mostly he has them there. He's like, wait, what are you gonna do with those and stuff? He's like, well, and then he just like collided them, and then they technically shattered the hair. And then they're like, wait, why you shattered our swords there? He's like, well, yeah. He's like, mostly he's like, you know about that room with all those ladies there. Yeah, they were technically Zonpak toes and stuff. That's what he was actually saying there. And then they're like, wait. And then he's like, wait, you don't even remember what a Zonpak toe is and stuff. So technically, they have to fight their inner demons there, and mostly there's like these like creatures there, mostly already attack Ichigo there and Renji. And he said, well, we have to fight them. They're also Zonpak toes also. That's what he was actually saying to him. They're like, technically, they're like, wait, where we have to fight them and stuff like that. So technically, I guess it took like a week there to actually fight these creatures there. Technically, it took like a week there, and technically, right in when the episode ended there, when the episode ended there, we got an extra scene there where technically they were saying something about like we see Renji was technically standing up there, and he was actually. He's like, oh, he's like, I'm pretty proud with you, Renji, there, standing up and actually fighting these creatures there. He's like, for Ichigo there, yeah, he was down on the ground. And this doesn't make any sense there because technically, Ichigo, technically, if you watch the original Bleach there, technically Ichigo technically saved the Soul Society there. Technically, he's like, well, he's like, I'm sorry, you're out there, you're out, brother, and stuff like that. And he's like, wait, well, why I'm out and stuff like that. He's like, I should not be in the Soul Society. He's like, well, technically, you're not really like become a Soul Reaper there because technically you should not be a Soul Reaper there if you try to consent it there and try to make it. He's like, you're out, brother, there and stuff. And he's like, wait, I'm not out and stuff. He's like, let me talk to him and stuff like that. And then he's like, pull him out of there. So he pulls him out. And then he's like, well, you're not be allowed back in the Soul Society. That's what he was telling. He told Ichigo that there. He's like, you're not back into the Soul Society. He's like, you have to go back where you came from. There, he's like, you're out of the Soul Society and stuff like that. And then he snaps his hand there, and then mostly we see Ichigo wakes up there, and mostly he's like standing outside of a thing there. It kind of looks like he came back to the human realm there, not the Soul Society realm, but he technically came back to the human realm. That's what he actually did there. He actually came back to the human realm there, and that's where the episode officially ends there, where he came back there. So, yeah, that's where the episode ends. We will find out what's going to happen next week there. But yeah, comment, rate, responsive to its bros. We like bros. Please subscribe, hit the notification so uploads. Or responsive to its bros. Like her out. Add her peace.